Hey everybody, it's Damien here with Big AZ Speakers. I just wanted to go over a small little issue on this Marantz Small 2500 and throw it out there because surely when I look online, there's a lot of people that have had 2500s that struggle with the hum issue. Now, I haven't gone through and done any major repairs to this unit. Obviously, it's what I do, so I will go through and do a recap and probably replace some transistors and anything else bad I find in here. However, let's say you just bought one of these, and especially in today's modern times, probably spent several $1000s on this beauty. Maybe always wanted one, maybe had one back in the day, and reluctantly got rid of it, and now getting it back. Anyhow, you plug it in and got your favorite audio source. In this case, running CD. You got everything plugged in, ready to go, and it's just got an obnoxious hum. So you go online, you look, and you read a dozen different other tips on what could cause it. You know, like, do you have any check your light switches? Do you have a fader, dimmer switch on your light? Is it light switch? Do you have your router plugged into the same circuit? Is it too close to this or that? Also, if you run a CD player, you'll read that the voltage coming out of the RCA outs on the CD player is a higher voltage than what they're using on the aux inputs or any input on the device, on this device in the 70s. So, I mean, and obviously those things do play a factor, but you're going to go through all the steps and you're not going to get rid of your hum, and you'd be ready to box this up and either send it back, wanting a refund thinking you got gypped, or sending it off for a costly repair bill. So before you do that, I just want to note one thing. Out of all the vintage receivers I've had, I have the Pioneer SX 1980. I've had the big I've had 3 of the Sansui G22,000s, several of the other big monsters from the day. This is the only one I've had receiver-wise that has a 3-prong cord. So obviously the bottom one's your ground. So it's pulling the ground from your wall circuit here. It's going into here. Now, most other smaller devices like your CD player don't have that common ground. So you hear the now I have big amps like this one down here that have the 3 prongs, but what you'll see in the back is what they call a ground lift switch. So I can lift that ground from this so I don't get that hum. So ultimately, because this doesn't have the ground lift switch, and you're running other devices that aren't sharing the same common ground, it produces a hum. So ultimately, I'll let you listen to it, and then if your brain's probably already figured out what it is that I'm going to tell you to do. But so here's the hum on mine, and the tricky part of diagnosing is, you notice my CD player's not even on. When I turn it on, it does get a little louder. So hopefully you can hear that. Pretty obnoxious, right? So I just did this is really hasty, so obviously anything that's because the CD player doesn't have a dedicated grounding board, you can take time to make one, or just hook your wire up to anything that screws into the metal chassis on this. And then normally I would do this with it powered off, but I want you to hear. So here's where the wire goes, and again, I could put it to anything that goes in metal chassis, but this has a grounding port for the phono. So if you can hear that shut off. So no more hum. Like, quiet is. Let me pause this and plug actually screw it in here. It's all right. I got it screwed in there. If you hear a new noise, it's because my AC just kicked on. But as you can tell, it's quiet as it was new. So the hum was in all channels, but you intensifies with the volume control. But so as you can see, it is on. So anyways, hope that helped. Again, anything that you pretty much connect to this that is using the two-prong plug, I'm gonna have to run a ground to this, but because now this is sharing the ground, I could piggyback off of this one. So let's say I had a cassette deck or something, but you don't have to run that many separate wires as long as they're all connected through one ground. Then I could just run it to the next if it's in a separate stack. So all right, thanks for tuning in, and please post your questions, comments. If it helped you, please let me know. If your issue is bigger than that, I'm sorry to hear that, and let me know if you have any questions. Maybe we can help you along there. All right, thanks again. Be sure to follow us and give us a thumbs up, and I'll be posting a lot of updates on this as I go through it, and ultimately, sadly, we'll be posting it for sale. All right, thanks, and have a good night. Stay tuned.